We're going to start with Woolworths, which is a combination of food and clothing retailer. It pioneered organic food retailing in South Africa and now has very significant clothing retail interests in Australia. It has a market cap of 89 billion rand, a price to earnings ratio of 27 and a dividend yield of 2.5%. And we actually spoke about this one yesterday because we looked at the grocers. Now we're looking at the clothing aspect, and Gary and I mentioned that Woolworths came out with a report specifically on David Jones and Country Road. You had quite a detailed look at that one?
Yeah, so I mean, David Jones is an old kind of departmental store type model, not too dissimilar to like a Bloomingdale's or a Harrods, but it's the Australian version. David Jones,
so it's Stutterfords for South African viewers.
Exactly. David Jones was a Welshman who travelled to Australia. Jones, funny that, Welsh. And he set up these department stores that were initially trading stores, but it got old and tired. Not too dissimilar to Country Road when Woolies bought them, all of, I think, 16, 17 years ago.
And not too dissimilar to what Woolworths clothing was like
it was
before
tired.
Ian Moore took over.
Exactly. And he has got an intimate relationship. So he's a Scotsman, Ian Moore, who's got an intimate relationship with Australian retail, and he's now here. So what they're going to do, and it's a targeting with their different brands, like Trenery's targets older, richer people. So I'm shocked that I'm wearing Trenery's. I must be older. Whereas like Witchery is a little bit more funky. Mimco is the accessories, so the handbags. It's not expensive, but it's not cheap. So it's kind of Michael Kors, if you know what I mean. Where you can get like a blingy watch, but in this case, Mimco is like a blingy handbag.
So, I mean, what I picked up from that report is also they're going to be pushing in those Woolworths brands into David Jones. David Jones obviously sells all sorts of brands.
Too many.
But they're going to be focusing and they want to bring it up to over 20% of everything sold being Woolworths brands, which is obviously makes sense because, that will help their margins and help their business overall.
Yes.
But Australians aren't used to those Woolworths brands that we have here locally, because these are the house brands, not Country Road and Trenery.
Yeah, but so they'll be familiar with Country Road. I think Country Road's about 40 years old, so those are the ones they'll be used to. But you're right, you're talking about the W stuff, so the kind of normal run-of-the-mill woolly stuff, which I must say has improved in quality over the years. And style. Exactly. So you know what you're going to get. You're paying up a little bit relative to what you could get elsewhere, but it's kind of affordable luxury, which is a great theme globally, as far as an investable theme.
And I guess the big thing for Ian Moore and his team and what they've been able to prove in the past is the retail experience. And I mentioned this to Gary yesterday. You walk into a Woolworths, you feel like you've come home. Everyone's smiling and happy and happy to have you there, happy to help you. You'd imagine that, when you walk into a Stutterfords, it feels a bit grey, but, you don't know where you're going, you don't know where to start. You'd imagine that's where David Jones is coming from, and Ian Moore wants to create that great retail experience, and that's how they're going to improve that business and turn it around. Exactly.
So I remember visiting Macy's and thinking, what the hell is this all about? You just giant escalators going up and down and lots of different, you're being bombarded at all angles from lots of different things. Some people think that's fabulous, but maybe a newer modern shopper thinks it's better if it's a cleaner. I think people
like to walk in, see what they like and buy it. They don't want to have to go scouring through hundreds and hundreds of shelves because people are very time sensitive these days.
So obviously if you can get your distribution better, which they've obviously worked on hard, but also being able to have a lot more stuff in stock kind of behind the sines. So clean,
and
fresh.
We've seen a recent ramp up in the share price.
As we said, they're about to raise their bet, Hashim Amla style, nearly $95.
Nearly hitting the century. So we're pushing towards that, and we do have a big position in the hot stocks portfolio. Are you hot or not?
Absolutely hot on it.
I remain hot. I was hot yesterday. Nothing's changed.